You guys have that? 30%.
It's Steve Freed, and it's July 11th, and USDA came out with their numbers. As expected, the market reaction to the numbers were negative. First, let's talk about corn. These corn's down about 7 cents, kind of a muted type response to the numbers, but the USDA did lower harvested acres a little bit. They left their yield at 165.3, but because of the lower demand numbers, they raised next year's carryout to $1.8 billion, and that's sufficient. Now the question is, if I've been short corn, do I take profits now, or do I think that we're going to go lower because the final yield's going to be bigger? In the beans, we're down anywhere from 15 to 20 cents. Old crop is down, July is almost down 70 cents. The USDA raised last year's carryout to 140 with a negative 69 residual. If I'm a taxpayer, I got to ask myself, how do you get a negative 69 residual in the beans? It's basically saying they're admitting that they don't know what last year's supply or crop size was. But in order to satisfy the demand that they see in both crush and exports, they have to have a negative 69 residual. As expected, they raised next year's acres. They put the carryout at 415, which is in line with the average trade guess. But it still suggests that, where we are in prices right now, November beans could go down as low as $9 if that crop is realized. In the wheat, they really didn't make a lot of changes. The total U.S. wheat crop is a little bit bigger than the average trade guess, but they did lower next year's demand, and so they got a 660 carryout here in the United States for wheat, and that is sufficient, and wheat prices are down anywhere from 15 to 16 cents. So the reports was bearish, and now we look at weather, and we see if we get these crop numbers that the USDA is suggesting, if we get these carryouts, and if we have to take prices lower to stimulate more demand. As far as the weather front is concerned, we have what is called a polar vortex coming across the U.S. Midwest next week. Low temperatures in parts of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa could get into the mid-40s. I don't think that hurts the crops, but it does reduce some of the growing degree days, and we'll see if that has any impact on price. And then later down the road, we'll have to see how the weather unfolds. There is, like I said earlier this morning, on the map, some warmer and drier conditions way out into the maps, but to get those to confirm and whether or not they last very long is still a big question mark. We are hearing of some pricing in the corn underneath the marketplace. Those who may have sold corn in May or June are taking some profits. We are hearing that the Chinese are big pricers at these price levels in the beans, so that could offer some support under the marketplace. So a bearish report, we'll watch weather, and we'll see how low is low this year on these prices. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.
I know. I've been short.